Yeah, good. Good afternoon and happy Monday, y'all. Hopefully, y'all had a blessed and wonderful weekend as always. Anyways, I got another fellow scrap fighter over here by the name of Robert Currie out of South Carolina. Introduce yourself, my brother.
What's up, guys? Sorry, what did you say?
I said another scrap fighter
Oh
like
yeah,
yourself,
yeah,
Robert Currie. Introduce yourself out of South Carolina. Continue.
yes, sir. What's up, guys? I'm sure most of you guys know me. I recently won the 155-pound title at Strap 4, and I'm looking for my second title here at the Strap 5. So looking forward to that event. Lots of great athletes on here, so lots of tough fights. Going to be a lot of scraps.
Sure, for sure. So, to start off with that, and also what you just spoke on that fight, right? What part of your game feels the most complete right now, especially with the recent fight you just had and the one that's upcoming?
Uh, I mean, a lot of people know like I'm a big leg locker. Go for a lot of feet. I won all four of the previous matches to win the title by heel hook. So I would say maybe that's maybe one of the top parts of my game. But I'm working everywhere. I consider myself a complete grappler. Been working on my wrestling. I guess upper body submissions, as you would call it, trotes. I taking the back, all that stuff. So I consider myself a complete grappler. A lot of people say I'm just a leg locker or whatnot, but I have very good parts of my game everywhere. So
Sure, for sure. What's your physicality? What's your height and weight?
right now 5'9", and I'm walking around at like 170. I've been bulking up
Okay.
for the 175 and for ADCC West Coast Trials here.
Hmm.
The youth, I'm doing the youth championship or the youth trials, and they moved the weight division from -72 to -75, which in pounds that would be like 159 to 165. So I've been bulking up for that. Been working with my coach Asim at Nova Barbell Club.
Shout out to
We've
coach.
been bulking up, gaining strength for that, and then we're gonna lead right into scrap, and not trying to be too undersized or anything for this bracket.
All right. Well, bulk it up, my boy. You talking to a former athlete. You know what I'm saying? Me sitting at
Sure.
5'11 at 200, but I gotta bulk down. You know what I'm saying? Because I just got back from vacation. But yeah,
I
keep it
feel
up, my
you.
boy. You know what I mean? Because you already know from one athlete to another, it's a bitch when you end up doing that, especially on your case, because you just had a fight, and then I'm assuming your next fight is what this sometime this week, particularly this coming weekend. Correct me if I'm
Uh,
wrong. What's your
I'll
next
be
one?
fighting the Nets. I'll be fighting is at West Coast Trials out in LA. That's the week before Scrap here, so I'll be coming back from LA and then right into to
So what's the dates
Scrap.
though?
That will be I'm doing both the adult trials and the youth trials. So youth trials will be on the April 17th, and adult trials will be April 19th or 18th and 19th, depending on
Okay.
if I make it to the second day, obviously, which I plan to do.
All right. Well, because the vibe you're giving off of me, my boy, is like, oh, we doing back to back. I'm like, oh shit, bro.
Yes, sir.
We talking
Yeah.
about all
So
this
that was,
walking and shit. I'm like,
yes,
oh
sir.
shit, right? How you gonna make that happen within a week? And it's difficult. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I don't have to cut too much. I'll be
Okay.
cutting down for a couple pounds for the for trials, but
Hmm.
then I can just it's kind of around the same weight classes for both, like 77, which is 170 for the adult trials. So I won't be too undersized or anything. I think a couple other people in strap are also doing trials in this tournament, like my buddy Eldon. I think he's going to do West Coast trials and do the same thing and go right into this 175 bracket. So again, uh, should be a good time. I mean, I don't plan to be undersized or anything for this bracket.
For sure. You just maintain it, my boy.
Sure.
um, how does it feel mentally, you know what I'm saying, being a purple belt?
Uh, I mean, I guess it doesn't really feel any different. I mean, I've been beating black belts for in competition for a while now. I don't really look at belts like that. Just a belt.
Right.
It's it doesn't change my mental at all from blue to purple or whatever. Just a belt. I mean, it is like important, I would say, but for me, it doesn't change my mental at all.
All right, it's all about what you can put in. You know, I mean, as long as you don't feel degraded mentally, because you know the old saying, you heard this in my interviews, y'all, is motivate the mind, the body will follow. So it's good that you keep your mind strong and let everything go in fruition. So proud of you for that.
Sir.
When did you feel yourself transition from learning to truly understanding jujitsu as a whole?
Um, I've been training since I was 5. Like truly understanding jujitsu. Um, I mean, I don't know. That's a tough one. I really like. I guess like I've been training. I've been going down like once a month for a while to train with Sean Applegate at 10 Planet Atlanta. Very good
Hmm.
coach. Like when I started going down there, it really elevated my training and elevated my game. And I feel like maybe if that's what you're talking about, like that maybe help my jujitsu click a little bit
Right.
more. It's when it started clicking more, and I
Literally.
started winning more matches and whatnot.
Right. Literally.
Sir.
What separates someone who stays at purple versus someone pushing towards brown and black? Like I said, I understand belts don't matter, but in terms of a lot of competition and speaking from one athlete to another, like I said, you know, there's a lot of like technicalities to it.
I
So
mean,
emphasize on that.
that depends on everyone's goal. I mean, if you're just like a hobbyist and whatnot,
Hmm.
like pushing brown and black would just be maybe showing up and like putting in your time, putting in your classes. Um,
Right.
but maybe as a competitor, like if you mean like pushing that level,
Uh-huh.
then like I feel like someone that separates it is like some like my brother. Hopefully, the match is not confirmed for him, but he should also have a super fight here on Scrap in April.
For
Um,
sure.
so like I'll drill with him every day. Eating right, drilling, watching the videos, studying your opponents, all that stuff. In addition to going to classes every single day, um, that's what pushes people to the next level is actually being involved and wanting to do it, as opposed to someone who says they want to be a champion or a fighter or whatever else, and they only show up maybe once a week. They're not putting in the extra stuff, putting in the extra training. So I think that's what separates, the people who are champions and the people who are not. Yes,
Right. It's just, prioritization, the obvious.
yes, sir.
What's your personal game development along with adaptability to it?
Uh, I've been working a lot on my wrestling, like I said, doing ADCC trials. So one of the weaker parts of my game is some people know is my wrestling. So I've been working on that a lot, my wrestling, and I mean just overall jujitsu. I don't. I mean I work on things, but like I don't want to give up too much. I guess
You good, my boy?
for my
Need to know
opponents,
basis.
but
That's what's to my
just wrestling and
fans.
whatnot, standing up, and just
Hmm.
overall, all around jujitsu and whatnot.
You sure? Do you add a little? You add a little twist to it, or you just keep it straight authentic?
Uh, I mean, I don't like if you're talking about like maybe like ecological, like are you talking about like ecological versus drilling or like just like
Anything,
uh
anything. Like
like I mean I keep
especially
it simple. I mean I'll do some I guess people call it there's that many different names for it. I've heard I'll do like with my brother in class I'll do situationals and I still do I guess static or regular drilling. I think both
hmm.
are important and both help you improve. But yeah, I don't do anything like crazy or like no secrets or anything.
Okay. Well, you add your own little twist, but you just keep it simple, right?
Yeah, I don't do anything crazy or whatnot. Same
For
as I
sure.
guess everyone else who is at that level.
Well, yeah. Well, it depends. I mean, it just varies. It just depends all on the mindset, my boy.
Sir.
Has your style changed over time or refined into something specific? I know it sounds a little redundant because we literally just spoke on it. Well, if you want to emphasize, go ahead.
I mean, I used to be a lot more like when I was younger. I did a lot more like guard passing. I always wanted to be on top and like in side control. But then just one
Mm-hmm.
day, like I just started developing my guard, and I fell in love with using the guard. So
Mm-hmm.
I've been using the guard and whatnot. I guess it could have transitioned that way. I mean, I still have pretty good guard passing and pinning. ability, but I just enjoyed playing guard a lot.
Why is that in particular? Now you got me curious.
I don't have like a particular reason. It just when I started working more on my guard, because it was a hole I had in my game. I
Hmm.
just started playing it more, and like that's the top thing I play now. Like I used to not play guard that much, but that's my top thing now. If it, most of my matches I start out by pulling guard. That's not really a secret or anything. So yeah, I just enjoy playing guard. There's nothing really to it.
Okay. Well, like, with respectfully, right, and just analytically thinking about it, I'm assuming you're more on the defensive than the offensive.
No, I would say that. I mean, I'm pretty aggressive in all my matches. If you watch, I like to play an aggressive guard. Um,
Okay.
I would say I have pretty good retention, but if you watch any of my matches, like for my fans or friends or whatever,
Yeah, for
like
everybody out there.
yeah, for everyone out there, like I mean, if you've seen me, you know I go after it, going after the submissions. At Strap, I got at the previous Strap, I got two under a minute submission bonuses. So I submitted two of my
Mhm.
opponents under a minute, and yeah, so yeah, I play a pretty aggressive style. I've gotten a lot of submissions under a minute, even in under tournaments. I think my fastest sub currently is 14 seconds with an armbar. So
Mhm.
I would play
Okay.
a pretty, I
That's
play a pretty aggressive style.
impressive, my boy. Do you believe your game around strength or fix weaknesses first? I feel like you're more on the strength side than on the weakness, because you, like I
Like
said, your aggressiveness and all that stuff. So yeah,
Like, uh, like, do I fix my weaknesses before my strengths? Is that
right. Like,
I
how would you
wouldn't.
build? How would you build your match, like around every type of match? Around it, whether it be your weaknesses or strength. But like I said, since you're more on the defensive, right? I feel like you're more on the strength side. But like I said, you can emphasize on that. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I mean, I don't like necessarily like fits one or the other first. Like if I have a big hole in my game, I'll study it and work on that first. So I guess maybe fixing my weaknesses first, if that's what you're going off of. But if you're talking about like going into a match, like do I like protect my weaknesses as opposed to using my strengths? Like I would use my strengths. Like if I'm going against maybe a good wrestler as opposed or uh I don't know, if I'm going against someone with uh a good armbar and
Hmm.
I don't have good armbar defense, just hypothetically, maybe I will use my strengths instead of just trying to protect that and like protect that weakness of I can't get armbarred here. I'll be looking out for it, but I won't. What's the word I'm looking for here? I won't like just not like do anything else just so I don't get armbarred. Like I'm looking for my submissions and whatnot.
Right.
Playing into my strength. So I guess a mix of both.
Yeah, but more psychologically, from what I'm getting.
Yeah, yeah.
uh, for okay, now this goes into my next question. We can emphasize as well, not to sound redundant. Jujitsu as a thinking game. You want to emphasize on that, or leave what we
As a
just said?
thinking game, I mean, it's definitely like
Yeah, like psychologically, like strategy and all that. Like when you think of chess, not checkers.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a very strategic game. I'm more emphasized on technique and technical superiority as opposed to strength or athleticism. I'm not super strong. I'm not super athletic. Um, I don't have like a lot of those like I guess natural athleticism or strength or whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
So I try and chase technical superiority. Like I've done a lot of absolutes and whatnot and faced a lot of bigger opponents. I'm not going to be able to like outstrength a 220-pound bodybuilder. It's not gonna happen. But I can, use my technique and use proper strategy to maybe I get under his legs or get into his legs or wear him out
Yeah, to subdue
with
them.
certain moves, yeah, and
Yeah,
submit him that way. So I definitely
right,
believe in jujitsu is a very strategic and technical game. I mean, technique beats everything.
right. That's what we all know. The old saying, and you heard this in my interviews, y'all. Is Me doing security, size don't mean nothing. And yeah, I'll say it is like that's why I love when I used to do club security. Like I said, once your mind once your mind's on that alcohol and you just like six, I'm gonna just throw it out there. If you like 6'3" and up and you like husky or whatever, that shit don't matter because your strategy is off, the alcohol done took you over, your mind ain't right, and that's when you start maneuvering. That's when you do the submission. Am I right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
And that goes to anything. I just like using that reference, but you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah. Yes,
Uh
sir.
Exactly. How do you adjust mid roll against someone unpredictable?
Uh, I guess like unpredictable, like a more spazzy type guy. I mean,
Yeah.
I just go for more controlling stuff. Like I'm pretty. I'm a more control based grappler, anyways. But I'm just looking for, to control the guy. Like I wouldn't change it up. I guess maybe I won't go for more risky moves if they're like doing a bunch of flying submissions and whatnot. But I mean, I try and apply the same
Uh-huh.
strategy to everyone to control them, and then once I control them, then I'll start applying the submission.
Right. Just don't be fucking flying like it's fucking in the movies or fucking or if you're a Star Wars fan, what I mean? Don't be acting like you have the force and shit. Like, bro, that gets
Yeah, no,
annoying.
I don't do a lot of flying submissions or anything like that.
No,
Anything close.
I know you don't, because
Yeah,
you
no,
be
but yeah, I get
just
what you're saying. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm just laughing at the reference. I'm like, bro, if I find somebody like that, just in general, I'm like, hey, can I take you serious? Because I'm not gonna take you serious, respectfully. And I bet you feel the same way too. It's like, bro, am I really fighting on the cage? Should I take this guy serious? Is he
I mean,
really the worthy opponent or what? You know what I'm saying?
I
Like, a matter of fact, I might even ask that little twist. What would you do with a fighter that you know damn well he's not even worth it, and then obviously y'all are in the match, right? And he's just fucking around, basically.
I
Have you
mean,
ever
I
had
take
any fighters
every.
like that? No, I'm talking about
I
for your
mean,
ops. I'm not talking you.
I mean, I guess. I mean, I take every opponent seriously, whether they're a white belt or a black
Right,
belt. I mean, I take it the same seriousness and whatnot. Um, and I think you have to. I mean, you can't just go in there and that's how you get in trouble is you go in
right.
there and you're like, oh, this
You
guy's
be a
in on my
goofball.
level, blah 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 blah. You got to treat every opponent as a
Right,
high level guy. Like maybe you got to treat every opponent as like you're gonna face Gordon Ryan or someone like that, one of
right,
those
right.
top level guys. You got to face it as the same. I don't. I treat every opponent the exact same
Yeah.
and
Which,
whatnot.
but you know damn well. No, and I totally agree with you. You know what I'm saying? That's how I would be as well. But you know damn well deep down inside is like, bro, really? I ain't gonna show it on the fight. We got to keep it professional, obviously. But at the end of the day, we all human. We like, bro, was it really worth that damn fight?
I mean, I don't. I never thought like that, but I definitely am like. I've
No,
definitely
in
been
general. I'm not
sometimes where
saying
like they.
you. I'm not saying you. I'm saying just in general.
Yeah, well, I felt like sometimes like I mean like when they do some crazy move, I'm like, all right, I mean, whatever. And then like there's
Right.
been some times like where someone will do something crazy and I just put them right in a leg lock and finish them. I'm like, all right, that was kind of weird, but whatever. And then I'll start focusing on my next match or if it's the only match I had, then whatever. But like I said, I treat every opponent that same when I'm going in there.
Right. What's the toughest type of opponent for you, stylistically? If that makes sense.
I wouldn't say I have a toughest opponent. I mean, uh, I feel like my game is pretty good against all styles. So yeah, I mean, I don't really have like stylistically. I wouldn't say there's a game that's like my kryptonite or whatever.
Respectfully, you ain't faced your maker yet.
I mean, I've faced a lot of good guys. I've faced like world champions and whatnot and stuff like, and I've been beat obviously, but like I wouldn't say there's a style that's like that's harder for me to beat. Like I wouldn't say a wrestler's harder for me to beat than a guard puller or something like that.
Right, right. What's staying consistent? What's your point of staying consistent over time, along with
Uh,
avoiding a burnout? In other
I mean, I
words,
love jujitsu,
how you
so
keep up with your stamina? Because
I mean,
cardio is key.
like uh, if you're just talking about for training jujitsu,
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
speaking of.
for are you talking about cardio for jujitsu or staying consistent in jujitsu? Like
Both,
both?
both.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I love jujitsu. It's one of my favorite things in life. So I don't really find an issue training jujitsu. I like it. I train every day. If I'm feeling hurt or I'm sore or something like that, or after a big tournament, I might take the day off and just watch or just chill out.
All right.
But I don't have the issue of not coming in. And for cardio, like I said, I've been working with my coach Asim at Nova Barbell Club. You know, I just follow his. He tells me what to do. I do it, and from him, I definitely noticed a big strength increase and cardio increase when I started working with him back early this January. So
All right. Well, yeah. Shout out to your coach. You know what I mean, for keep you on your toes like that.
yes, sir.
What keeps you motivated during slow progress periods? Along with how do you maintain discipline when things plateau?
I mean, just showing up and going in there. I mean, I've had plateaus and slow progress. But I mean, just going in there and getting that maybe not even 1% better every day. Maybe it's a 0.0001% better every day. But going in there, you'll get better every day if you're training smart and training hard and training with intention. So I don't really worry about that stuff too much. I just go in there and train. And if I'm through a slow period, I just, keep grinding it out. There's no secret. I just, grind it out.
And obviously, what we keep saying in this interview, just go with the flow. You know what I mean? Just
Yes,
persevere,
sir. Oh
right?
yeah. Yes, sir.
So the point of this interview, y'all, as y'all always know, and you know from my past interviews, perseverance.
Yes, sir.
uh, on that note, how do you inspire others in the BJJ community as a whole? And we're not just talking about the youngsters like y'all, anybody regardless of age group and fighting style.
I mean, I don't personally know. I mean, I teach a couple classes at my school and whatnot. I try to help people out. I just would say just by being a good person and training hard, training smart. I just try and be, like I said, be a good person. Help people out, be nice. Hopefully that inspires them and they see what work I put through and what I've been doing, and they take some inspiration from that. Like one time, speaking going back to like I guess plateaus or slow progress. One time I was on a 17 loss losing streak. I just lost
Oh
back to back
shit.
to back to back to back to back, and
Uh-huh.
but I just kept going through and kept grinding, and now I'm beating black belts, winning ADCC opens, winning big titles like these strap titles
For
and
sure.
whatnot.
Hey, my
And it
fault to
just
interrupt my boy. Hey, show it off a bit. Well, let's see what we're working with.
yeah.
Show it
So
off.
here's the 155. I'll show this off real quick. Like,
Yeah,
this is the
go ahead.
155 strap belt. Um,
Uh-huh.
so when this at the strap four, a very nice belt. Mini Money and Strap did a great job on it. And
Hmm.
it's a great belt to my collection. So I'm looking to, like I said, looking to add the 175-pound belt to it.
For sure,
So,
for sure. But continue what you were saying. I just wanted to show it
yeah.
off for a
So
second.
yeah, no, you're good. So like I said, I mean, on a 17 loss losing streak, but like I said, beating black belts, winning these ADCC opens, winning these bigger tournaments and whatnot, it all just comes from hard work and grinding out. Like I said earlier in the interview, I'm not particularly strong, not particularly fast, athletic, but just through hard work and dedication, I overcame all obstacles, and that got me to where I am now. And I'm not planning to stop. I still got a long way to go till I'm top level guy, world champion, whatever you want to say. And that's my end goal with jiu-jitsu, is to be the best of the best.
All right, but be humble and through it all, respectfully.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Do you see yourself as a leader in your gym and community?
Um, I mean, to a point, yeah, I would say so. So, like, obviously, I have my coaches and whatnot, and my head guys. But I mean, I would say, like, I definitely help out and as stuff, and I run some pages for it, like the Upstate. We have a page called Upstate Jiu-Jitsu, and I help run that, and it's just all stuff related to jiu-jitsu in the Upstate. So I wouldn't say I'm like a leader or whatever, but I definitely you know, I guess a prominent figure, at least in the upstate jiu-jitsu community in Greenville, South Carolina, that upstate South Carolina area.
Well, shout out to Greenville, South Carolina, on that
Yes,
for
sir.
supporting you continuously.
Yes, sir.
What kind of example do you try to set for newer practitioners?
I feel like this has been said before, but it's important. Leave your ego at the door.
Like I said,
I
not
get
to sound
that.
redundant. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is like sounds redundant, but it is important. It's been, a bunch of people say it, but I mean, leave your ego at the door. I get tapped by white belts in training. Um, and that's fine. Like one of the best guys, Derry Tonin, he talks about how he gets tapped 5 times
Right.
in a round, and he's like one of the best guys in the world. So,
Right.
leave your ego at the door, and that's how you learn is putting yourself in these bad places. And don't get too frustrated. Don't take your wins too seriously. Don't take your losses too hard, especially in the training room. I mean, it's just training. We're just there to get better. So, I mean, that's what I would say to a new
We
guy.
ain't trying to
And
be
just
there to
getting
kill each other,
Yeah,
respectfully.
exactly. Like don't spaz out, take your time, learn. And the most important thing I would say is just getting in there, get into the gym. That's the hardest thing, getting into the gym. As they
Right.
say, a white belt is just a black belt who never quit. Or a black belt is a
Amen.
white, sorry, a black belt is a white belt who never quit.
But regardless, either or,
Yeah,
it's the same message. Amen to that. You know what I'm saying?
sir.
Um, gi or no gi for you?
No gi. I get a lot of comments and whatnot that uh I don't do gi or I don't like gi, and I like the gi just fine. I just prefer no gi. Uh, and in the sport right now, most of the money and all the big tournaments are in no gi. Besides IBJJF, IBJJF does has big gi tournaments. I personally don't like IBJJF and don't do it, but I mean, I think they have a fine organization and people who do it. That's great, but it's just not my cup of tea. I still train gi once or twice a week. I don't know if it's necessarily important to know gi training like people say, but I mean, training's training for the most part. So if you like, I'm not going to skip training just because of gi, right? So, maybe I like no gi more, but still go to class whether it's gi or no gi or whatever else. I mean, I like no gi more, but again, I started out with in gi, so I mean, it's also personal preference. But I think the gi
Right.
is fine, but no gi is my cup of tea.
Sure. Hey, that rhymes.
Yes,
Any
sir.
gi is fine, but no gi is my cup of tea. There you go. Um, what's your favorite submission to hit clean? So basically, what's a clean hit to you? I'll put it like that.
Hit clean. I mean, a rear naked choke. That's probably my favorite submission. Taking the back
Uh-huh.
and just choking someone. There's no more dominant way to win than that. And
Mm-hmm.
it's like undisputable. Maybe I don't agree with this, but maybe in a leg lock or something, you say, "Oh, you leg locked me," blah blah blah. But rear naked choke, you hit someone with a rear naked choke. It's you probably dominated them and passed their guard, took their back, or you took their back from uh, an arm drag or something like that. You had to get around their back, which is a hard task to do, and then without them escaping, you have to sink in rear naked choke. So I think it's one of the most dominant submissions, and that's why it's my favorite to hit clean. Also, a clean armbar. I like arm bars a lot, and then I guess leg lock. Those two could be interchangeable at 2 or 3, or a heel hook
Right.
specifically for leg locks.
Right. It just depends on the opponent and the flow of the round. You know what I'm saying? So y'all
Yes,
don't
sir.
end up
Yeah.
fucking looking like y'all like mixed up and y'all tangled up and shit.
Yes,
Entanglement.
sir.
Like what the fuck is that? What's the most frustrating position to follow that up?
Most frustrating position. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that depends. I mean, like if you're in mount, like my coach Roy Jones, he's a bigger guy, um, and he's very good at knee on belly. Like it's frustrating when he puts you in knee on belly and puts all his weight on you. Like that's not comfortable being, and it can be frustrating to get out. But it depends. I would say either like a mount or someone having your back could be a frustrating position.
Right.
I could also see for newer people starting out, like not me personally, but like when I'm teaching leg
Just in
locks,
general.
like
Mm-hmm.
leg locks I could see as a frustrating position because there's so much going on in these positions and whatnot. I could see it being a
Mm,
little frustrating.
right, right. It just depends on the person.
Yeah, and that too. It
uh,
depends on the person.
right. What's one word that defines your journey?
Like I said, I guess consistency, dedication, or discipline. I guess I'd go with dedication. Like I
Which I
said
see.
before, with all the stuff I said, just sticking through it and grinding it out. So dedication.
For sure. That you are. Not to play favoritism, y'all, especially to my past fans, being honest. Um, is jujitsu more physical or mental at higher levels?
At
In
higher
other
levels,
words,
it
common
definitely
terms like pros. You know what
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean?
At higher levels, it's definitely more mental. And when you're starting out, I could definitely see a lot more physical. But as you start learning more techniques, you become almost efficient. And like you actually like this is a talked about thing. Like as you get older and better at jujitsu, and like for older
Mm-hmm.
guys, like you got to do cardio outside of jujitsu because you can get so good at
Right.
jujitsu, you don't actually get that much of a workout from it. So especially at the higher levels, I would say it's definitely more mental than physical.
Correct. Or just in general life. Um, is jujitsu, oh no, my apologies. How important is patience versus explosiveness? Honestly, if you want to hear my opinion on this, I think, especially with sports like, yeah, I think patience is key because you got to be strategic, you know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to go in there as a crash out. So for me, it's patience. And that's me just in general, you know what I mean? I was just adding that in for y'all combat fighters. Would you agree or would you go with explosiveness?
I would agree. I mean, explosiveness can definitely help, and I think it's important to have a mix of both because there's certain
Right.
situations where you got to be explosive. Like maybe when you're escaping mount, you got to be explosive and ready to go and have urgency escaping mount. And like you don't want to be so explosive that you like hurt yourself. Like if you're in an
Or
armbar,
crash out. Hmm.
yeah, it's I guess yeah. You don't want to like if you're in a fully locked armbar and you're trying to do a hitchhiker or something. You don't want to be so explosive you end up popping your own arm. But you got to have
Right.
urgency and like some sort of like it's like explosion
Right.
to get out of these positions and whatnot. So patience is definitely more important. With again with the mental we were talking about and whatnot. But
Uh-huh.
I think it's a mix of both. You got to find a balance between
Right.
explosiveness and patience in jujitsu.
Right. Because, like I said, mind, body, soul. So, if your mind is not being patient, which leads to being strategic, then what's the point of being explosiveness? Because you just go in there, blackout, and then you know the rest. You end up popping your shit, or even worse.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
What's one mistake most lower belts make repeatedly?
Repeatedly.
Yes. Like
Let
you're
me. I
like,
mean,
damn, you ain't learned that, and we at the lowest level. You know what I mean?
yeah. I mean,
Respectfully.
it depends. Um, for lower belts, I mean, it can be a lot of different things. Um, Maybe one of the biggest mistakes I see is like maybe going back to like the ego and whatnot. Like they want to fight so hard and like they need like you need to win in the training room. I see that even in like black belts and whatnot. Not like you
Hmm.
gotta win in the training room. Like it's just training. Competitions where it matters. But I could see that as a big mistake that people make over and over again in jujitsu at the lower levels.
Right. What's your go-to strategy when you're down and around?
When I'm down,
Yeah,
I
what's your
mean, you just
go-to
gotta
strategy?
go. If you're down, like if like, and it depends on how much time's left. If I'm down and there's like, it depends. Then match times and everything and rule
I'll
sets.
put it like this: you're down like that, and then you gotta be strategic, right? And
Yeah,
it's like 1 minute into it, like 1 minute
like
before
1 minute into
you
it.
either submit. No, 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 no. 1 minute before it ends. Matter of fact,
Okay,
yeah,
like
just
1
to
minute
remove
left.
it.
I mean, yeah, you just gotta
Yeah.
go for it. And you might make mistakes and get yourself in a worse spot, but you're already
Uh-huh.
down and you're already losing. So if you're down and there's a minute left, and I made this mistake before, like being too strategic and patient, but if you're down and there's a minute left, you just gotta go for it. Go for the submission or if it's a points tournament, go for points, but you just gotta go for it.
Yeah.
If you're down, you don't let off the
Yeah.
gas pedal until the round or the
Exactly.
match is over at that point.
Right. Well, then again, I mean, agree to disagree, right? Like I said, speaking from one to another on some athletic shit, like, yeah, that's when patience come into play. but you got to be swift with it, be strategic, so you know what's going on, especially in them very primal moments.
Oh yeah, with the minute left, you don't want to like lose your game or whatnot. You still want to have
Yeah, you're like
strategy,
fuck.
but yeah, exactly. You don't want to. You still want to have like you still want to like I guess obviously do jujitsu, but I mean,
Hmm.
if there's a minute left, you just got to go for it.
Right. And to end off with this, right? My apologies, I had to check something. Is
You're good.
that what do you think of this interview so far? On top of that, did it meet your expectations? And do you have any shout outs? I won't take it personal, my boy. You know how it is because you saw
I
my
thought
stuff
the
in the
interview was
past.
good. I enjoyed it. Good interview and whatnot. I guess some shout outs or shout out to all my coaches and training partners at Boss Grappling. All the other schools I've trained at or train at. I guess shout out to Nova Barbell Club. And yeah, shout out to just shout out to my training partners and whatnot.
Sure. And shout out to us. And I had to put
Yes,
in
sir.
that
Yeah,
in
shout
there.
out to Millions and
For
Scrap.
sure. For sure.
But
For sure.
I guess I'm looking forward to this 175 bracket. And looking to become the double champ. So
For sure. And is that gonna go through us or what?
yeah, I believe Scrap is going to be a pay per view on Millions.
Okay.
I think it's I don't know what the price is, but I believe it'll be streaming on Millions, or you can go watch it in person at Pilot Mountain.
Right. Well, I'm guessing since if it's like a whole profile fight, I'm gonna guess like roughly around 50, 70 around there.
I think I don't know if it's that much. I think
Or
it's maybe ten
or plus.
dollars for
Oh,
the pay
okay.
per
Well, you
view. I think.
well, because the vibe you're giving me is like that, you know what I mean? So I'm just
Yeah,
thinking
yeah,
like in
no,
general.
I'm not sure. I guess if you have any questions about it or like the people watching have any questions, just go to Scrap Super Fights on Instagram or look up their website. I think it's scrapsuperfights.com.
Hmm.
And you'll find all the information there.
Right. Well, like I said, I mean, if you want to give a shout out to your socials, go ahead with that as well, if you
Yes.
don't mind.
I mainly use Instagram, so my Instagram is Robert Currie 08. So go drop me a follow if you guys like jujitsu and whatnot, and if you like this interview. And yeah,
And much appreciated, Robert. And I'm real proud of you, boy. Me talking technically as an old head at 29, but we still got it. It's all about being athletic. And blessed to you and yours, all right? We'll be in
yes,
touch. Be
sir.
safe.
Thank you. You too.
You're welcome.
Peace.